The Electoral Commission will officially launch the 2016 Municipal Elections later on today at Gallagher Convention Centre in Midrand, Johannesburg. The event will see the unveiling of the communications campaign for the upcoming elections aimed at encouraging voter participation, especially among young and first-time voters. For more on this, we are joined in studio by Mosotho Moepya, who is the Chief Electoral Officer and of course at the IEC. It's so good to have you in studio. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you, Leanne, and good morning to our viewers.
When I see you sitting here, when I know this conversation is about to begin, I know we're in an election year.
Absolutely.
We are. Officially. How are you guys feeling ahead of them?
We have been working hard over a long period of time, just over 16 months now that we've been planning for these elections. And so the things that we're going to be talking about and unveiling today are not new things to us. These are things we've been working on for a very long time. Talk to me about some of the things. What are you going to be discussing? We will be talking about the program that we have undertaken in terms of the work schedule leading to an election. You know, people think that an election is just a project you plan. In fact, in an election, we have over 350 individual projects that form a program that makes up the election program. Yeah. And it is that program that has now reached a point where we have to unveil it and make it known to the public, and then request members of the public, particularly those voters that have moved houses since their last registrations, those that have become or have come to registration age, and many others that need to check their details on the voters roll to do so. We have done all of the work that we do in the background. It's now work that we need to do in the front line.
How many registered voters have we got so far?
We have 25 million registered voters. 25 million. Yes.
How many more do you expect now to register to vote in these municipal elections?
Interesting. We will talk about that later in the day today. Okay. But we do expect that we will have quite a handful of those voters. If one looks at how we have gone in the past, quite a large number of the voters that we still need to, register are persons that have not had registration opportunities before. This would be first-time voters in the main, but there are quite a number of young people as well who, in the last opportunity, may have missed that opportunity, and we would want to bring them into it on this occasion.
And also, I can imagine there's going to be a huge drive to try and get the youth, as you mentioned, those first-time voters, yes, to register. Absolutely. There's a lot of apathy amongst the youth. I mean, we're reading front-page stories on The Citizen this morning saying that students are threatening to disrupt these polls going forward. So let's have a twofold discussion here. Let's firstly talk about how do we get the youth to register and participate in these elections, and also, are you planning any contingency plans for disruptions?
We do plan for everything, and I think young people, we have enough time to be working with them still. I'm convinced that young people are not apathetic in our country. They are involved. You see them with issues concerning their university education. You see them with issues concerning this country. And I think elections are one such opportunity for them to participate. We will be engaging with them as we are already, and I'm confident that we will do better than it's anticipated generally.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of contingency plans, I know you say you always have them, and that's all sorted, but it just seems that there seems to be a lot more frustration amongst South Africans, and we saw that from last year, whether it be issues of the demarcations, whether it be students. Are there extra contingencies? Have you accounted for that, or is it just the same as it always is?
No, it's not the same as always. An election is a big project. You have to, in the planning process, you have to look at things like that. How do you deal with people that don't know what this election is about, why they need to participate in it, people who may have obstacles in participating in these elections. That's part of the planning program that we undertake. And issues of concerns that young people might have, we have a great opportunity as South Africans, not only us at the IEC, but as South Africans in general, to say that elections are about the future of our country, and we need to participate in the leadership and choosing those public representatives that we must entrust the future into their hands, at least for a 5-year period.
So let's move on to talking about the registration process. So when will that start? How do people go about doing that?
We will be talking, as I said, extensively today about that when we unveil it at 11. But from now on, frankly, quite a number of our channels are open. They have remained open, but we have taken additional steps to create more opportunities. We will be talking about General Registration Weekend in March. We'll also be dealing with various ways in which voters can participate. Whether they are able to come to the voting station or registration station, or whether they would like to be visited at home for registration opportunities.
Okay, so we will wait for those announcements this afternoon in terms of the dates and the weekend. So, but we do know it will be a weekend in March where there'll be general registration, and you have a few more weekends after that. But the reality is that the elections are obligated to be held between May and August this year. Correct. We obviously have to wait for the President to announce when.
No, it's not the President on this occasion. It's the Minister responsible for local government and traditional affairs.
Well, thank you for clarifying that one for us. Okay, so we got to wait for the Minister to announce that particular date on that one. All right, we look forward to hearing from it, and we wish you the best of luck going forward. People can follow you, I imagine, on Twitter for all the announcements that come out of it today.
Absolutely.
At IEC?
At IEC South Africa.
IEC South Africa.
That's correct.
Thank you so much, Mosotho. Thank you always for joining us here on the program.
It's always a pleasure being with you.
Mosotho Moepya is the Chief Electoral Officer for the IEC.